How big was the cosplay scene back then when you started?
I want to be like, because the cosplay scene has been around for a very long time.
Yeah.
I think saying that like, I just happened to kind of come into it, and then I'm very lucky to be able to be where I am because of it and because of cosplay. I am a fan of cosplay, but I would never say like, oh, cosplay is now a thing because of like whatever, but
because of me.
Yeah, like I think that's like the complete wrong way to look at it. Cosplay has always been such a huge subculture of Comic-Con and everything like that. Massively talented creators and people putting their all into costumes and everything. Back then it was a lot smaller. I think with the pandemic and everything popping off and everyone accessibility to costumes and everything, it's popped off like fucking crazy.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
But like back then it was indeed smaller.
Well, I guess it makes sense because back then, just not even anime, but just like nerd culture in general, just wasn't as big as it is now. So
Exactly.
I think the cosplay scene has just grown with how the mainstream has viewed this kind of culture.
Yes.
Everything like that.
Yeah.
So there's just like there's a lot more people doing it now.
Yes,
And it's,
so
do you
many
feel like the
people.
barrier of entry is still just as easy as it was before?
Oh, honestly, I'm like there are two wolves inside me because like I feel like cosplay is split off into like the super hardcore like crafting people who are like who've been around and like make their own stuff and everything, and then there's like this super accessible, all-inclusive shit that is so good. Like when I look at cosplay, my mind goes costume play. And I don't, and I like, and the accessibility to costumes has become so amazing these past couple of years. And to be able to see more people just be able to like throw in a costume and become their favorite person in the world is like,
it's pretty cool.
the coolest shit ever.
I've noticed as well that like, just like, even if you can't make your own cosplays anymore, just like buying cosplays has become cheaper.
Yes. Oh my God.
Like it's become,
yes.
because I remember there was a point where like you would look up a cosplay, even in Japan, of like a school uniform or something.
Yep.
And it was like, $200-$300
Yes.
plus.
Yeah.
Now you can get a school uniform for like as cheap as like, $40.
Yeah.
maybe.
Have you seen the quality of the
dude.
like $10?
Yeah.
Why do you know that?
I know.
All right. I've seen those videos.
Oh God.
Remember back in the
Connor
day?
after dark.
You go to a convention and you're like, yo, that guy's wearing an Akatsuki cloak. Yo, he's got shit on lockdown, man. That looks so cool. It's like, where did he get that from?
So
I want that.
cool.
She's like,
There are times where I miss those days because I'm like, oh, it was so like underground, and if like you saw a really really cool costume, like you had to have made that,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
again, there are two Balverines inside of me, and that is that there is accessibility now, which makes it so much better.
Yeah.
So,
3D
like,
printing, right? I imagine that's been like a
Oh
big
my
thing.
god, the 3D printing game is insane. I have some friends who literally have a space like this, and
Right.
it's just lined with walls of 3D printers.
Wow.
Damn.
Mindy Smalls, she has like 10 3D printers, and she can be like, oh, you want a full cosplay? Bah! And she'll like print it out, and she'll like sculpt it and everything.
Crazy.
It's so amazing.
Axe.
Yeah.
I didn't know 3D printing had gotten that good where you could just kind of make like.
It's incredible.
Could you make a whole costume with 3D printing?
Absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
If you take the time to like sculpt it and then like size it to your body, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Game changer.
Yeah. So like, how long did it take you to like learn your skills in cosplaying? I guess because
My mom taught me actually.
your mom taught
Yeah,
you.
because my mom did hats for the what's it called? It's like the Kentucky Derby, but it's like in New Zealand. So
Right.
it's like
The New Zealand Derby.
So it's like little baby New Zealand Derby, So she'd make like those big hats and stuff like that. And she won a couple competitions, and she did this
Right,
thing in
cool.
New Zealand called the World of Wearable Arts. Which is like, if you're from New Zealand, it's like this competition where a bunch of people and artists will make like wearable things and send them off to models to wear, and then they do like the catwalk.
Right.
Oh.
It's really fucking cool. So she has a very creative streak to her. So does my dad. Like,
Right.
but she taught me how to sew, and like
Right.
she helped me with like my super super old school dark magician girl from like way back in the day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was so cool. But yeah.
Oh my god! So you just had all the skill sets just like pre-programmed, and it was,
Well, I had to like
It's like,
uncover
mother,
them.
I would like to pursue cosplay.
Yeah.
Teach me how to sew.
She goes, all right, well, it's time to get a big push-up bra, and we'll contour the boobs and send you off. Thank you, Mum.
Oh my god.
what were like some of your most challenging early cosplays to do then?
Fuck. I like, it kind of, I was like,
How long did the Pikachu one take?
like fucking 4 hours, my guy. Have you seen that shit?
Yeah, I've
I
seen
look like
it.
I've got 2 dildos glued to the top of my head with a cardboard zigzag on my ass.
I mean, I was gonna say compared to some of your laser cosplays, that
It's
seems
true,
like
yeah.
a very simple
I headbutt
cosplay.
the wrong guy the right way. It's a good time. Oh.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. What's
Sorry.
what were the toughest ones that you remember from like recent memory?
Probably my Syndragosa cosplay was probably really
Oh,
tough.
yeah,
I me and my friend Zach designed it together, and then I made it, and it was like the reason why it was so tough was just because there was so many fucking scales and like so many little bits and pieces and everything that were just like it would stack, and I was like, this is just.
How do you decide what you're going to cosplay? It seems like you kind of do like all the stuff that you wouldn't expect.
I have to love it.
Yeah.
I have to be.
You did Pyramid Head. I watched the video where you made it.
Oh, that was
so cool.
amazing. Yeah,
I saw the
Pyramid
Chainsaw Man
Head,
as well.
Pyramid Head could tear me apart, throw me to the side of the church, and use my blood to create a mural of his close, intimate, and personal relations. And I would be thankful.
Yeah, I think my recent favorite one of yours was the Chainsaw Man one you did.
Oh, that was so fun.
That
That's
was
why
so
we should
sick.
do music, because my brother does music. He did all the music for that.
Oh, really?
Ryan did the guttural chainsaw.
Oh, sick.
Yeah,
nice.
Ryan did like full death metal growl and everything
Shit.
like that.
Hell yeah.
You'd be really good at death metal growling. I heard you
I
death metal
don't-
growl the other day.
What?
Well, you did some deep something.
That's just his voice. That's just him talking.
yeah.
True.
Maybe. I don't know. I need training, I think.
Could you do like a little bit of a like right? So, anyways, do you want to do some music?
What the fuck is that?
You sounded like Kog'Maw. No, like a. How do you death? You know metal. How do you death metal?
Maybe if I wasn't like crouched over myself.
Do you want to try it? Come on.
No.
Crouch up on the thing.
No, I can't. I gotta zen. I gotta talk to me in like 20 minutes.
Okay. 20 minutes, a little bit of white cola.
Yeah,
then you can
I need like 3 more white claws.
Chuck him a couple
We'll get it
white
done.
claws.
We'll get it
Like,
done.
you sound just like you're auditioning for like The Grudge or something.
Hi,
like
I'm
that.
Connor. I'm reading for the part of Scream. But speaking about voices, you did the voice for Supersonica as well.
I did do the voice.
Oh yeah,
I completely forgot about that. Holy shit!
How did that come
Bro,
around?
oh my god. So I did like some cosplay work for Sentai Filmworks, and they were super. I fucking love them. They're so lovely.
Yeah.
They were really nice, and they were like, "Hey, we're looking for an English voice actor. Do you want to be the voice of Supersonico?" And I was like, "I'm not a voice actor. I'm not a voice actor, but okay." Man, voice acting is so hard.
So
It is so fucking
did you have
tough.
like zero voice acting
Zero.
experience before
Zero.
that?
I had like I
God.
think I did a little bit of like Cinder Fall for Monty. God,
Right.
I fucking love you, Monty. Monty had so much faith in me.
Yeah.
But that's like the only experience that I had, and then I did Supersonico.
How was that? I haven't listened to it.
I mean, you sounded good. I think. I don't know. Maybe it's because when I watched Supersonico, I knew it was you.
Yeah, so you were giving me the
And
benefit,
I was
you
just
were
like, "That's Jessica! Yeah, let's go! Let's go!"
okay, so you were looking at me like a proud parent.
Yeah, like a friend had just done something
Yeah,
really cool.
okay,
You
like-
know?
what was the
let's-
general consensus?
I don't think if I could redo it, I would love to, because I feel like these days I would, for what it was and the skills that I had back then.
It was the best.
Yeah.
Of
It was what I could do.
Right.
You know, I think if I did it now, it would be so much better, because I think you just learn so much more as you get
Oh, yeah.
older.
Yeah,
definitely.
And
Yeah.
like so many different ways to like adjust your voice and your tone and everything.
Yeah.
Even with Cinder Fall, you listen to Cinder in the first couple seasons, and then Cinder now, the change is like so different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Pick
like
up very quickly.
yeah, like I wish I had like had what I wish I could do now what I do this version
Yeah.
of me back then.
Well, everyone's got to start somewhere, right?
Exactly,
And
yeah.
Especially that was like one of your first big
Started
roles.
in a big show. isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, which was pretty fucking nuts. And then they had me back for the video game too.
Oh wow.
And so I was just like, "Are you sure?"
They were like, "Yeah, it worked around the first time."
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll be alright.
Like, do not get me wrong. I am so incredibly appreciative that I got to do that. Like,
Yeah.
like what an insane.
That's an opportunity not many people get.
Yeah.
Oh my
Especially for their
God.
first role.
Like,
as well.
oh my god.
Did you deal with any criticism at all from like people being like, "Oh my god, she only got it because she's popular"?
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah,
I honestly, I don't really look at too much stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
that
real
I,
question
that
is,
people
did
say.
you give a shit?
Smart idea.
Like,
Yeah.
there's a part of me. There are two Worgans inside me, and
There's always two.
There's
There's always two.
It's from that fucking T-shirt, right? Okay, I wanted to make sure you were referencing the meme. I understood.
but I'm changing it, so it's not.
Yeah, I
it's
see now.
not
I
dry.
get it. It's this fucking weird T-shirt where it's like there are two wolves inside of me, and it's one of them's like I'm a Sigma, and the other one's like I'm gay. It was something
Yes.
like that.
Oh my, this is the best wolf. Same wolf.
It was good.
Same. What was I saying? Where did I go?
About voice acting.
I'm no with so with like seeing criticisms and stuff like that. I usually like try to just stay away from like looking at that kind of stuff. Because I know that it would just destroy me. It also applies though with like numbers and stuff like that.
Right.
So I apply that whole kind of mentality and blanket to everything.
Right.
Pretty healthy.
I think it has helped me really a lot because I remember I was talking to Phil like way back in the day. And he said something like that, and he was like, just kind of, what goes up must come down.
Right.
So prepare yourself. And I was like, oh, okay. So then if I just never kind of know how big or small, then I won't be like sad when it's no longer a thing,
Yeah.
And
I'm glad you took it that way because it could have easily taken it as, well, if I just never go down.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, like I do see that with some creators.
Some people think it's like that, right?
Well,
Yeah.
you, even if you have a general upwards trajectory, there's always like months or weeks where it
Absolutely.
goes down.
Of course.
And you're like,
Absolutely.
I'm falling off. I'm done.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you have to have that like full conversation with yourself is like, no, my content's not who I am.
Yeah.
And you have to have that real therapy session. Do you guys do therapy?
No.
Boys. Do you exercise? Let's exercise our minds.
I exercise.
Okay. Exercise, but also
I
therapy
exercise
is good
my
for your
mind
brain.
in
Yeah.
He doesn't exercise. You need to get him on it.
I
You
don't
need to-
physically exercise. I mentally exercise.
I exercise in my
lift the
mind,
Game
which
Boy
is exactly
bottle.
the same as
This is
physical
for
exercise.
I know how to solve a Rubik's Cube.
Okay, that is pretty sick. I did see that.
I've never done therapy, but even if I wanted to, right? Let's say I wanted to get a therapist in Japan.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of some therapists in Japan that speak English, and I've heard horrible things.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it's
Right,
really,
right.
really hard to find. I've done therapy before, and it's like, since moving to Japan, it's almost like impossible to find like an in-person therapist. If you want to
Shit.
do it, it's probably got to be online. And it's.
I do wonder if that's a good option because there was a time where like I was talking to someone online and it was like it was so nice just to
Yeah.
talk about just to get like validated in your feelings and stuff like that and just to get certain things.
Yeah, it definitely is helpful, but I feel like you do lose a little bit, like not being there in person.
There is
Yeah.
body language that they read.
because online there it feels like there is like a wall, like you don't really feel like you're talking to a person sometimes, even though there's a person on the other side. There's just, especially when you're talking about some really, really intimate things, just like that extra connection and that extra like human connection like can really help. I feel.
Also, you run the risk of like pouring your heart out, and then they'll just be like, "Oh, sorry, the connection cut off. What did you say?" You don't want that in a therapy session.
POV Australian internet.
It's like, sorry, I'm in Australia. What did you say? Could you repeat that?
So I'm going through a tunnel right now.
Sorry, my wife's calling me. Give me a sec. Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.